English as a bridging language between global literature. The most famous saying in the world translation is translator status. It traced back to an Italian proverb that appeared in the plural form traditore, traditore, or traitor translator, among the collection of Tuscan proverbs in the 19th century, combined by a poet translator and the satirist, Italian Giuseppe Goesti. We may ask, how did the popular culture in Italy pay attention to an unpopular act, which is translation? The answer is that the meaning to which Italian saying was intended may have more than one interpretation beyond what it is intended to mean now as a cliché phrase. The first is an expression warning in popular culture against any language that cannot be easily understood, especially a distrust of those who use an unfamiliar word language instrument of power. In Italy, this meant historically those who used to Latin to enhance the power, the charm of their priests, lawyers, and doctors. This popular proverb, which was based in the phonetic and letter homogeneity of two words, depicts the same dissatisfaction with the eloquence of a collective generalization as a piece of wisdom or as a conclusion, as if the only recognizable conclusion from a long collective experience of translators that they are those who hold the key of knowledge hidden in a language unknown to the general public, makes them unworthy or not trust. There may be a second explanation that coincides the colonial movement, because translators are the occupier's right-hand man in direct dialogue and deeper understanding of the occupied people. Popular culture and its representatives believe that translators stand on the side of the enemy, and it is appropriate to call them traitors. Modernists and just people have begun to talk about type of translation that is described as the creative betrayal, considering all translations are creative betrayals of the original text, because every translator adds from his spirit, culture, what flows into the rivers of the next text. But in all of the above, we refer to translators directly between two languages. There is no third intermediary language between them. If we brand these translators between two plain rules, what about those who take third rule? Let it be English or French between the mother text and the text in their Arabic language. Perhaps the betrayal here will multiply, and doubt will grip those who look at the next sentence or next text as if the intermediate language changes the original text to one initial kind, and then the Arabic translation or final translation changes them to the next type. We are faced with a hybrid product, if the description is correct, in which the intermediate language intermingled with the final language, with everything that comes into contact with them, cultures, references, and preferences. I learned the way of writing poetry early during my university years, and the texts we studied were the first field of testing. So the texts of Wordsworth, Coleridge, Eliot, occupied us so much that we went so far with the boldness of youth to try translating Shakespeare's sonnets into Arabic. Then my openness to Eastern cultures was the reason for me to fall in love with that specific and different poetry written by monks and philosophers who take the wisdom of a lifetime into it. The scarcity of its presence in Arabic was the reason for me to read it in several periodicals that published unusual world poet's poem. In fact, my Tatar life is full of surprises, beauty, traditions, literature, and art. Should I tell you about its villages and their wooden houses, which look like children's dolls full of joy? Or should I tell you about my journey with its holidays, especially the Harvest Festival, Sabankoi? Or should I show you my recorded journeys there, from its millennium capital, Qazan, to the spot where Ibn Fadlan had reached Bulgar on the Volga River, the Museum of National Poets, Abdullah Tokai, of whom I translated the works for children, and I participated in his official celebration of the occasion of the century's silver jubilee of his birth. Or I take the taste of shak-shak sweets, tea with dried fruits and stuffed beef, or I extend my gratitude to everyone, the President of the Republic, who received me and congratulated me on the publication of this translated work by Abdullah Tokai, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Culture, Zelia Baliva, who became Director of Qazan Kremlin Museum, photographer, advisor of the Tatar Ministry of Culture, member of Press Photography Union, and great Raisa Khan Safiullah, Dr. Guzek Sulaimanova, the historian and the daughter of a struggling historian, and of course the researcher, translator, Elmira Beram-Ali, and her husband, the iconic genius photographer Rifat Yaqubov, and then daughter Zarifa, who speaks Arabic, and of course my friend Olga Libertani, the poet, the famous poet. In fact, this is what the translator needs, to get to know the details of the life from which the original work came from, to see the smell, to see and smell the real flowers, and go through the fields, sit in the homes, and stand in its market. Here, English is not an obstacle, nor a false barrier, but rather a bridge between the original language and the Arabic language. So, hearing the poem by original language is very important, even if we don't understand it, but the rhythm helps to prepare and upgrade the translation. This is why translation of two works that I translated and were written by Abdullah Tokai came into Arabic in musical form that replaces the rhythm